Right. Is it going? Yeah. It's okay.
Sin and shame, we spin insane, been in flames. The tide rests like fire tested. Check, check, check what's inside our chest. Purified, though we're sure to die, so fortify the golden side. From that, we're immortalized. The poor soul in us contains a rain that's black. From hell I came and made it back. Faded stains remain with names intact. Spoken in vain and veins react. Contained and tamed inside a track. With no drum beat, my heart sings. A cappella just from my heartstrings. Poorly stitched for what's rich is what my art brings. Poetry is spoken truth. Tales from a broken youth. Fail for what know is true. Exhale and sail to a point to prove. No return on what we earn. Postmark to whom concern. From what we built, we late to burn. We're made to burn. Skin soaked in kerosene. See the flames inside your dreams. The scenery and me have seen the free is free indeed. Absolute in all its sense. Mass confusion, mad intense. Add illusion and its test. Free the mind in all its step. Let the hidden treasures kept. Slept the measures meant for death. Exhale the breath. There's nothing left except swallow shots and tattered hearts. Swallow tattered marks and honest. Hollow thoughts and shattered hearts. Swallow shots and tattered marks. Honest novels spat and sparks. Fall to the armor, falls apart. Chinks and clinks reflect the stars. We connect with wrecks and open scars. What's true is told, and so we are. With no regard of God and our written past, seemingly odd that we nod while we sit and laugh. Live as if we are, but we aren't built to last. Look at the stars and you are looking past a million miles of dark and black. Faded stains remain with names intact. Broken and maimed, insane we act. Contained and tamed inside a track.
Woo!
I walk familiar grounds. Where once a seed was sown, a place where single mothers struggle to provide a decent home, within a world where man is measured by the things he owns. From the driest of desert sands, who knew the seed had grown from a sapling to a tree, spreading branches and leaves, yielding blessed fruit for his fellow man to eat, a place where curses and chances meet, a variation of outcomes and outcomes. Amongst the scattered seeds, some fall by the wayside while some thrive. The ills of this earth prove to be unkind to so many young lives, so many young eyes watching, sole providers striving to maintain, growing up to lash out at society, frustration in their mainframe, situations way beyond ain't playing, becoming victims of circumstance. God bless the child that can hold his own when his father is the first to dash, and bless those forced to stretch resources from the 15th and first to last. But it's still thankful no matter how long this hurt and thirst can last. A certain detriment to one's soul, the effects running in circles has. The key to survival is that's the pain he learned to mask. And as seeds grow, they learn to ask about their own living conditions. A slow recognition of the known and unknown blessings were given from hopeless pain to wisdom, with no claims that were victims, just byproducts of broken homes with no fix-it man to fix it. Everything in its own time. A time to sow and a time to harvest. Why does it seem like the sweetest fruits come from seeds who have seen and known the hardest? Despite early scenes, I learned to dream. And among these trees, I've grown the farthest to who I am today, the drinker, the thinker, the poet, the artist, the dreamer, believer, the provider who never copped out, the university graduate who was once a two-time college dropout, the bastard seed who flourished beneath the cracks in the concrete, in constant search of specks of sunlight those around just could not see. Perhaps it's not me, but the right amount of wind and rain, ancestors who have passed on the inheritance of their struggle, sin and pain. Without this wealth, I wouldn't have been the same. So I embrace the soul beneath me, the sky above me, and most importantly, those around who have loved me. Because of that, from my own seeds, I gladly be Silverstein's giving tree, instilling the same richness I was given that lives in me. Spilling my victories while holding on to my faults, my failures, and my despair. Teaching to reach for the sun despite the bitterness of the winter air. Times of wind can tear the very pieces we believe keep all the answers. But when winter's gone, we're still standing. Roots, base, and branches. One more piece of air, if that's all right. All right. You'll never hear me bragging about my rhyming ability, just like you never hear society myth the vile shit they did to be blatant lies from the media, disguising the trickery. But better believe I keep writing till my pens get sick of me, continually evolving, the everlasting art of reinventing me. Bottom line, I speak the words that were sent to me, wisdom that's been passed down through the centuries, truth to fit to relate to the times, but essentially the same underlying message spoken with hopes that eventually some will take heed and make the proper changes in this life we lead, stuck in these times of greed. Patiently wait until I get free. I feel the powers that be trying to capture all that's in me, the artist in me striving to live out all of my dreams, but all that I see is the innocence that is parted from me. Cathartic, the dream, the written beat, Backed by verses trying to shed inherited curses, spun up by subservient service to a point where person to person showing the world I'm far from worthless. Taking my inner mind's wordless stacks of notebooks is where the work is. With no time clock and no hourly wages, dedicating my life to these pages. Then comes gracing the stages. Then comes speaking to a generation to promote mind state elevation. But first comes my own focus and patience, perfect my own craft cultivation. Perhaps I was born with this insight and intuition, creative thoughts in flight, finding disgust in everything that glistens. Speaking over this mic, whether or not the audience tunes in to listen. Artistic vision, providing poetry with precision, finding wealth with words written. Watch my spirit rise while I'm spitting, feeling the verses collide. How can I deny what I was given? How can I suppress what's inside, realign from what's written? Every syllable in these lines come alive like they're my children. Every song that I finish is a glimpse of the greater picture. Revelation through sounds from what surrounds me, my own lyrical scripture. Far from impressed by these clowns who only seem to be richer, the same ones who see hip-hop merely as a business venture. Not as a culture and art form, or a way to see this planet from different angles, a form of expression, a way to speak, a way to teach, a civilization with a mic and a beat, taking what's inside of the screen, finding insight in the meat, to a level of vision beyond what physical sight can reach, bringing it back to the most primitive sense to either fight or you flee. This inner defiance of me repels the compliance you see in every face that mistakes rap music with true poetry rhymes and a beat. Real hip-hop requires passion. It's not an image. It's not a gimmick. There's no pleasing the critics, no catching hooks for the kids to mimic. It's intuition, tapping into the truth while you spit it. Hand to the sky, and may God be my witness. If money is the only motivation, I wonder why even in this. It's endless thoughts, free-flowing emotion mixed with the heart of the truly ambitious, but it's far from being a business. That's a cause to become a vicious, and the rawest and the victor is about broadening the inner mind's dimensions and harvesting what the artist depicted, allowing the poetry to resonate in your lives, applying the lyrical wisdom, building upon a spiritual kingdom, trading war stories with the minds on a quest to transcend them, adding the aesthetic, materialistic world that we live into a level of consciousness, directing the musical palace towards honest spit, where there's no such thing as corporate sponsorship and no diamond timepieces on your wrist. Just composition notebooks full of poetry by yours truly, the novelist.